Sometimes, a hotel isn't haunted because someone passed away there. It's haunted because someone never left. I used to work the overnight shift at one of those mid-range hotels you see right off the interstate. You know the type. It looks decent enough from the highway, but once you step inside, you're hit with that faint, sterile smell of bleach mixed with stale air. I took the job during college, mainly because the night shift paid a bit better and, more importantly, it was quiet, or at least, it was supposed to be. After midnight, the lobby was usually a ghost town. I'd sit behind the counter, scrolling through my phone, occasionally answering a call from a lost trucker asking for directions, or a guest who died a bit too much to drink and needed extra towels. The strangest nights weren't the busy ones. They were the ones where everything seemed perfectly normal. Until I looked at the logbook. It all started about 3 weeks into the job. It was around 2 a.m., and the hotel phone rang. The display read, "Room 313. That alone was weird enough. That room had been sealed for as long as anyone on staff could remember. The number plate was gone from the door, and a heavy metal latch was drilled shut over it. It wasn't even connected to our reservation system anymore. I remembered my assistant manager telling me, half jokingly, "If 313 ever calls you, don't answer." Well, that night, I did. The line crackled, sounding like it was submerged underwater. For a few seconds, I thought it was just static. Then, I heard a voice. A man's voice. It was low, hoarse, almost polite. "Front desk," he said. "I need new towels." I froze solid. My mouth went completely dry. I managed to stammer, "Sir, what room are you calling from?" 313. Then the line went dead. I tried to rationalize it. It had to be a prank, right? Maybe some tech-savvy kid spliced into the phone system, or it was just a bizarre glitch in the old wiring. But when I checked the digital call logs on the computer, my blood ran cold. There it was, in black and white. Incoming call, room 313. The next night, it happened again. Same time, same voice. This time, he asked for ice. And just like before, the line went dead before I could even process what to say. By the third night, I couldn't take it anymore. I had to see for myself. Against every rational thought in my head, I grabbed a heavy-duty flashlight and headed up to the third floor. The thick carpet absorbed the sound of my footsteps, creating an eerie silence. The air grew colder and heavier, the closer I got to where the room should be. When I reached the spot where room 313 was, I stopped. There was the old door, faded, scratched up, and sealed tight with that thick, imposing metal latch. But something was different tonight. The telephone line that ran along the wall, the one that was supposed to have been cut years ago, was dangling loosely, and someone had crudely reconnected it. I raised my flashlight and shined the beam at the peephole. The lens was completely black, as if something was pressed right up against it from the other side. That's when I heard it. A faint whisper, seeming to come from right behind the door, as if the person was speaking directly into my ear. "Can you send someone up?" I didn't wait for another word. I turned and ran. I didn't stop until I was back behind the safety of the front desk, my heart pounding against my ribs. I tried to tell my manager about it the next morning, but he just brushed it off. "Old wiring," he said, not even bothering to look up from his paperwork. Probably a crossed signal from another room. He was completely dismissive, even when I mentioned the voice. But when I pushed him, asking what had actually happened in 313, he got quiet. A shadow passed over his face. He finally sighed and said, "Look, that room's been closed since before I even started working here. The guest checked in back in 2004. He never checked out. He told me housekeeping found the room empty, but all his belongings were still there, clothes neatly folded, wallet on the nightstand, luggage at the foot of the bed. There was no sign of him ever leaving. The police ruled it a missing person case." He paused, then muttered, almost to himself, "The phone was off the hook when they found the room." The calls didn't stop. They kept coming, every night, like clockwork. Sometimes the voice would ask for random things, a bar of soap, more blankets, a wake-up call for an hour that had already passed. But sometimes, he'd just breathe into the phone, a slow, unsettling rhythm. One night, he said something I'll never forget. In that same, hoarse whisper, he said, "I left something behind." The following night, I'd had enough. I unplugged the main hotel phone from the wall jack. I thought, no connection, no call. But that didn't stop it. Around 2 a.m., the backup line, the emergency one connected directly to my desk console, started ringing. My hand trembled as I picked it up. Silence. Then, a distinct click. It wasn't until I hung up that I noticed something on the desk that wasn't there before. A room key card, white plastic, with the hotel logo, and printed on it in stark black letters. Room 313. I don't remember putting it there. The system shouldn't have even been able to print it. That room wasn't active in the database. But the plastic was warm, as if someone had just been holding it in their hand. That night, I made the incredibly stupid decision to go back upstairs. This time, the metal latch on the door was broken, bent outward at an awkward angle, as if forced open from the inside. The smell hit me first: damp, musty air, a thick layer of dust, and something else, ... something faintly metallic. The light switch didn't work, of course. I clicked on my flashlight, its beam cutting through the darkness. The room was perfectly, unnervingly clean, except for one thing. On the bed was a single, neatly folded towel, and beneath it, a dark, sprawling stain that had soaked deep into the mattress long ago. The old rotary phone on the nightstand was off the hook, its receiver dangling just inches from the floor. Before I could take another step, the door slammed shut behind me. I spun around, my light darting wildly across the empty space. No one was there, but the air suddenly felt heavy, charged with static. I could hear faint breathing coming from the corner of the room, slow, labored, like someone struggling to get the words out. She was right. I went back up to check, my mind reeling. The space where 313 should have been was just a blank, seamless stretch of wallpapered wall. No door, no latch, no number plate. Nothing. It was as if it had never existed. But that night, the phone rang again. Same time, same familiar chime. The caller ID glowed in the dark. Incoming call, room 313. I didn't answer. I never answered it again. But sometimes, when the hotel is quiet and I'm all alone at the desk, I swear I can still hear the faint sound of a man breathing through the receiver, still waiting for someone, anyone, to finally check him out. Thanks for watching. If you have a story you think is stranger than this one, share it in the comments below. And don't forget to like and subscribe for more stories from the shadows. Stay safe out there.